Greetings, everyone, and welcome to This Week I'm Learning, the podcast where apparently I didn't make an intro today, because that's just the kind of day it is. This is episode 52, recorded July 21st, 2021, and I'm your host, Brandon Vader, also known as Dracanis.
Is Brandon Vader not prepared?
Brandon Vader is not prepared today.
Brandon Vader? Okay, that is bad. Okay. Inside joke. Maybe we'll explain later.
Yeah. Or look for my latest TikTok video, bvader86. That'll explain that.
No, because I will never be on TikTok.
He's hip with the cool kids. TikTok is
hip
great.
with cringe.
You're not lip syncing.
No.
Are you doing some
I would
dancing?
love to do a TikTok dance. You kidding me? Whatever.
There's so many other cooler things on TikTok than dancing and lip sync.
That's all there is that's worthy. Never mind. Go ahead.
Anyway, down below me, the master
Loud one.
disaster himself, Seeker 4761, probably the amount of quarters I'm going to have to dump into the jar by the end of the month.
I agree, okay.
Next to him, we have Tim returning, also known
Welcome,
as Fake
Tim
Farang. In the middle between Cody and I, because apparently we can't be together, we have Mjolnir, also known as Charlie. Stifla, who apparently needs help in Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. Let's see. Help,
You're one of those people, aren't you?
Help. Okay, so quick. Like I was in Hobby Lobby with my wife's best friend for like an hour and a half, and I may have changed about 9 displays to say help, because there's a lot of ways you can buy letters there.
Yeah, there is.
I think my favorite one is the partial license plate. This is the actual only one I'd actually ever buy. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
Awesome.
Delpy.
PIR.
help.
No. I know that, but under the I, PIR. What state has PIR?
Virginia. No. I know it's not PIR, but I mean...
PIR.
Yes,
Orange
but...
license plate. It's probably like the county.
Anyway. And then all the way in the corner, surprisingly, Cody Stratman, also known as Psychonitrous, also known as that asshole in Thailand that now has fiber.
As of like 10 minutes ago. At least it wasn't Internet Colorado installing it.
Ooh, true words. I don't know. We did a good job.
It is a New York license plate. It is just Empire State on the bottom.
Okay. Thank you. That was going to hurt my brain all episode.
We did do a good job, but it would have we would not be doing the podcast right now, or I would not be present in the podcast right now if Internet Colorado was doing the install. That's
very true.
The difference.
Thank you for calling Internet Colorado. We know it's down. Sorry. We're working on it.
Lightning struck that tower. We can't do anything about that until the lightning stops.
You choose to live in the middle of nowhere. You're lucky you're even connected to the world at all. Be happy. That's what I wanted to say. I never said that. But I thought it really, really loud.
That would be good communication.
That's true. Lose a lot of customers.
So for those of us that don't know the backstory, Cody, Colton, and myself all worked at the local internet service provider for, about a year together? Yeah. Cody was there. Cody, how long were you there?
I was there for
how many years of your life did you give to them?
Oh my God, so much. I don't know. It was fun though. Like I would say that was actually a fun job and a miserable job.
I was gonna say I don't remember you ever saying, "Man, I love my job" while you were doing it.
Well,
it was a job of extremes.
It was a job
You were
of extremes.
either really happy or you were really ready to just put someone's head through the concrete.
Or you were snowshoeing up Sunlight Ridge in the middle of a blizzard. Yeah.
I can relate
splicing
to
fiber
that a
in
bit.
below 0 temperatures.
I can relate to that bit. When I was in the military, I was posted to a place called Goose Bay, Labrador.
Oh God, no.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's way up
that's
there.
the Canadian equivalent of Great Mistakes Naval Station.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
At least Americans used to have a base up there as well.
Yeah.
But we brought in the first cable TV to the area. It was a military thing. We military volunteers, and we did I did as well.
Volunteers.
In the bucket truck.
Volunteers.
Wiring the whole community, and then doing the drops, and then doing the installs in the house. But no internet at that time.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Impressive.
I'm dating myself. Some
really
of you guys
cool.
weren't born. That was 83.
Cody, did you just use your mask
Probably that
to
guy.
plug your headphones more in
I
your ear?
did. I figured out a way because it works a lot better than using this to push it in.
Okay, so did you go with the Samsung Buds Pro? Is that
Yes.
what you went with? Okay. How are they so far? How long have you had them?
Since last night.
Yesterday. Yeah, I got them last night and they weren't charged. So today, this is the most that I have used them right now.
Okay.
Shit.
When I use them for music, the bass is incredible. The mids are what mids are supposed to sound like. They're good, and they're IPX7 rated, which means technically I could go swimming. Although they don't.
You'd lose Bluetooth.
recommend. Yeah. It's a bad idea for multiple reasons.
But the question is, though, will they survive being run over by a car like the last pair didn't?
I'm just not going to test that. I'm going to really try not to test that.
As mentioned before in
Probably a good
previous
idea.
episode about terrible drivers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not run them over. Somebody else did. Just
Someone else
for
ran
reference.
over my expensive headphones that fell out of my pocket. How dare they?
Bastards.
They are the problem.
They should have stolen them instead. It's all right.
I'd feel better if someone was using them right now.
At least
All
it
right.
wouldn't have been a waste. Anyway,
Okay.
so we should have an interesting show today. Cody is going to talk about abode abroad and virtual issues.
And
Abode
Colton,
abroad and virtual issues.
I couldn't
I
find
thought it said Adobe
alliteration.
at first.
No,
Like,
no,
wait, that
no
doesn't work.
Adobe.
Oh, okay. Adobe, Adrad. Never mind.
You got to reverse the characters.
Yeah.
And then it.
They
then-
both
then
look
it
like
works.
L's.
Alole.
Just lots of O's in between.
Allude.
Yeah, I couldn't find alliteration with virtual, so I was just like, I'm giving up. Anyway, and Colton is going to say that the blind will see again with science.
Science!
Science.
With
You better
science.
not be
realized-
repeating my topic from like 2 months ago. That's all I'm saying.
I might be.
That's
Certainly
okay.
hope
You
Fuck,
took
I
one of
hope
my
I'm not.
topics again one time, so
It hasn't happened
we're
yet, but
all
we'll do it.
we're all
I'm sure
gonna
we
go
will.
full circle.
We'll find out.
It actually has happened.
Already?
Really?
Yeah. with
Other than
the-
a revisit, like an intentional revisit?
Okay.
Like an intentional revisit, like something changed, that's different.
What?
But I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to you 2 months ago has not happened yet.
Okay. I was wondering if that happened with the jetpack episode twice.
No.
Okay.
Well, if it is in fact a redo, then you can. Well,
Let
we'll
us
call it a
know
revisit.
at TWIL at thetechpirate.net. Please
I'm
let
sure
us
it's-
know.
I'm sure we're gonna find out when it's my turn. I don't think we've done this one, but now
Really
you got
hope
me
not.
all worried. I guess we'll find out.
It's all right.
It'll be
you on
fun.
edge.
But
Either-
hopefully,
either way.
this is. I know this
We
is not a repeat. Charlie's going to tell us about how water is where we want it, and it isn't going to get better soon, unfortunately, because the world's great. We're doing
Don't
great.
worry, climate change isn't real.
Humans
fine.
go
Totally
humanity.
And Tim is going to finally have a topic. Congratulations. And he's going to tell us about a noob and his audio, which is not true because you have 1,000 more subscribers than we do. You're just doing a new format of audio. So you are not a noob. You are just having to adjust to a new format.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here, by the way.
Yes.
Oh,
thank you.
So I will introduce Brandon, and it's dangerous to go alone. Here, mister, take one of these.
Ooh.
I like his
good.
delivery so much better than yours,
curious.
Charlie.
What?
You've got me curious. It sounds like you're traveling somewhere and somebody wants you to take their luggage or take this magic pill. So I'm curious.
It's a Zelda
If somebody
reference,
asks
so-
you to hold suspicious items,
You say, "Great, thanks."
Let's put this small child in a world-saving event. It's fine. I love video games.
All right.
Yep.
Cody, start us off.
as some of you may know, I am here now. And by here, I mean I am actually
But you're not
in...
really there.
Well, okay, I'm not actually there. Because the background of where I actually am is a lot less interesting. Because I'm facing the wrong way for it to be interesting. And lighting and blah, blah, blah. But my point is, I actually am no longer homeless. I have a place that I am renting, rather than
We kicked him out.
couch surfing or yeah, yep. Tim kicked me out.
You began to smell like a fish.
Vagabond.
House guests and fish after 3 days.
Silly
Yeah,
Equally
as my
smell
dad
bad.
said. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Cody. Sorry.
So no worries. I just wanted to kind of explain my experience with that process, and it started with me looking online for places to live with like 3 different search engines. Because when you're in the US, you would probably use something like Zillow or maybe a Facebook group or 2 to look. I was looking like Airbnb, a website called Fazwaz, and also some Facebook groups to try and find something. Airbnb was more of just to make sure that the prices were somewhat in line with what they should be competitively, because I didn't really want to do it on Airbnb. And it's a little bit more complicated because what you see on the internet isn't necessarily what the reality is here as far as places to rent. The most interesting one was when we went somewhere to see if they had the rental place that they were showing online, and we got intercepted by the parking garage guard, which, by the way, Colton, has a much better dress uniform than you do when you're working as your security.
I'm not surprised.
You
I'm not
need
surprised.
to up your game, buddy. Just
It's
saying.
too hot to wear
You
fancy shit. Just give me
You
a
need
polo.
some
and-
like bands and medals and stuff, and a hat.
Are they? I actually think that Thailand's the same temperature plus humidity, so that argument does not fly, sir.
No, actually, he's
That's
like
a fair
20
statement.
degrees warmer. He really is 20 degrees warmer than we are. So.
But enough about my topic.
Oh.
Well,
Anyway, that's
call
a
that
little
to call
teaser.
forward. Ooh.
So yeah, we got like intercepted in the parking lot by somebody that's like, oh wait, I know of a place who's working for one place that we were trying to get, and then he takes us to an adjacent condominium building. It wasn't like the same one, and then he's calling the owner of that building to be an agent of that. So in the US, you have like, realtor, which in order to be a realtor, you have to pass tests, go to classes and stuff. In Thailand, and this is the part of my topic that I've not done research on because this is an experience topic, is I think you could just know somebody and who has property, and you can work out the commission with them, which is
we were
like
offered,
what that guy was doing. Yeah, exactly.
We were offered on another property to if we sold it, we would get 5% or something like that, or 3%. I can't remember what it was. Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
cool.
the way. It's just that easy.
Yeah, so you just know somebody, and then you become that. After a few different places, we actually so what helps immensely, just incredibly immensely, is if you know somebody who speaks the local language, because then you can, like, if you have complicated questions, those questions can be answered. So Tim's wife is Thai, and obviously, well, not always obviously, but knows Thai. So her helping me do this was just incredible and made the whole process much easier than me going to somewhere or trying to message online and being like, hey, I would like this, can I see this unit? And it was easier to get quick responses. I wound up getting this place after going to one condo complex that I had seen a lot of people do YouTube videos on, which is actually called La Casita, because why not have Spanish in Thailand? And so instead, I'm staying at a place called La Habana, which I'm pretty sure is better than the actual Havana. Yeah, I keep making that same joke, but still, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. It's my pull string joke. Charlie's got his, I've got mine.
He needs a coin jar.
I also have a few for tonight, so good luck.
And so some of the interesting things about this is, like, the paperwork. When I went and signed the paperwork, the legal documents are actually similar to what I signed in the U.S. to rent my last apartment. So it's, at least getting this place wasn't really like fly by wire. It actually felt like a regular legal thing. And the documents I had were all in English, so there wasn't really any worried about that. My agent, she did speak enough English to get by. Actually, she spoke pretty decent English. I would say saying to get by is probably putting it a little bit low. Yeah, it's a little bit crude. The most difficult part about all of this was actually getting the internet installed, and I think that's because the agent might have just been busy, and it was kind of she knew somebody who worked for TOT, which is the fiber company that I'm going through, and which supplies the condo with it. So in the end, what helped me get internet faster was actually me going to what they call the jurisdiction office, which is the first time that I've heard that in this phrase. Maybe it's I don't know if that's a universal term, but which means a little window at the bottom of the condominium where the lobby is, and talking to the people there and asking them, hey, do you have any deals on internet? And they giving me a flyer. And then going to Tim's wife and having her help me get internet. Again, when all else fails, finding somebody who's Thai who can help translate for you just, again, helps so much.
I've been telling her, sorry to interrupt your topic, hope don't lose your train of thought. I've been telling her she should advertise on Facebook because foreigners here sometimes need help on hospitals if they have medical issues or stuff like this, maybe buying property, etc. And they want to make sure they understand what's going on. Yeah, so I'm saying she should, charge herself maybe 1,000 baht for 6 hours of service and see if anybody takes her up on it. Just we don't know how to promote it. But yeah.
I mean,
but anyways,
I think
back to your topic.
A lot of, well, no, that's only adding to it, and really that was kind of my takeaway. Is a lot of people joke like, oh, you should get a Thai girlfriend to help you out with this stuff, and it's like, I don't think that's as much of a joke as people are saying it is.
It's survival.
Yeah.
But that could get expensive too.
Yeah, true. dates, going out to eat. Yeah. But no, all in all, like this process wasn't really that bad. Like there's little odds and ends of like trying to figure out where I deposit my trash, but that could be anywhere. That wouldn't just be something in Thailand at a condo complex. That would be the US or figuring out mail, you know. So
Banking.
I have
Banking.
Oh yeah,
Banking.
that's a whole nother topic though. That is a separate topic that will be interesting. So tidbit for the future. I have a two-parter today, and neither part is really that related to each other. So the second part is because we started talking about it before the podcast, and that is I have a valve index, and apparently it is like crack cocaine. So it is now at Tim's place, and Tim has been enjoying it, as well as a mutual friend of ours was on it, and also Tim's wife. And so I had my laptop there, and it was working perfectly fine on my laptop, and then we were trying to get it working on Tim's laptop, and no matter what we did, it had issues. And this was a decent amount of research to figure this out. So my laptop uses an AMD graphics card and just hooks directly up to a USB-C output, which is also DisplayPort. So no Thunderbolt, anything involved. And my laptop actually does have dual graphics cards. Now this is where this comes into play. Tim's laptop it's 2018, so not really that old. Has a 10 series NVIDIA card, so a GTX 1060, and it has an Intel onboard card. His outputs are a HDMI and a Thunderbolt over a USB-C. The issue that we ran into, and it took me a long time to figure this out, is so the Valve Index does not support HDMI. You have to have DisplayPort to use the Valve Index. And I think there's one or two other of the newer VR systems that also only use DisplayPort. The issue that we ran into after trying to figure out, because I didn't know if it was my adapter being just a USB-C to DisplayPort adapter, if it had to have some sort of Thunderbolt compatibility. And that's where Brandon was helping me out with that information, trying to figure out if that was the issue. And it turns out what the actual issue is with a lot of computers of that era is the NVIDIA card is wired to the HDMI, whereas the internal Intel graphics card is wired to the Thunderbolt port. And there is no way to switch them. So what has been done on newer ones is this thing called Virtual Link. And this is the part that I didn't finish and get to research, and that's why I was going to try and push this to next time, but next time I'm going to talk about banking, apparently. So maybe Brandon can kind of, since I see his eyes light up as I'm talking about this, maybe he can fill me in on what I missed in this pre-conversation.
So, there is a Linus Tech Tip video that is going to be very handy for you. Came out a couple weeks back, and he was talking about using these dedicated mining cards that don't have dedicated video out to basically do all the processing within Windows and then pump it out of an integrated graphics port in a motherboard. So there's... And I wish I remembered exactly what he did, because I basically watched it and was like, wow, that's really cool. That's a little hacky, but that's really cool that you can do that.
I'll never need that.
I'll never need that, because I'm sitting here with my RTX 2070 Super. Like, I'm okay for now.
I can't touch them or they'll turn off.
You really need to like mess a little bit more with the adapter, the probably wingtips on that, I think is what your issue is.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is a way that you can basically force Windows to use the dedicated graphics card even on a non-directly connected video output.
And port. Is this Virtual Link though? That's what I'm wondering, because Virtual Link is a specification that came out after all of this nonsense, because these VR companies realized that this was a problem. And the issue is not all of the computers support Virtual Link.
Right.
So it's something to try, and I'm curious if it'll work. Otherwise, and that's Colton, that's why I was going to ask you, is if your VR system could use HDMI or if it used DisplayPort.
Mine does neither. Mine uses USB. If I wanted to actually connect the Oculus Quest 2, using they have a weird little beta thing where you can actually turn it into an Oculus Rift if you connect it by USB. But because it has its own internal screen and actual processing, because of how it does it, you don't have to actually have any video output at all from your computer to the Oculus Quest in this case. So, neither. It's USB Type-C and $20 get like a 16-foot long one. Make sure it's powered because it's nice to have that extra power, and you can either go wireless. Not
so you can even play Steam games on that, like Half-Life Alyx on your.
When you came by and played Beat Saber, that was on Steam.
Oh, awesome!
Because the other thing I could do is I have a wireless third-party app that basically runs the video output over my wireless network with hardly any lag. So it's completely wireless, virtual swinging, in that case, sword swinging with Beat Saber.
Yeah, and you want to... So just kind of as a caveat on that, you want to make sure that your wireless network is...
Wi-Fi 6.
I was wondering if it needed the
You want the
Wi-Fi 6.
fastest you can get. But my old one, I used to do it on Wi-Fi 5, and it was fine. But for an entry level, I think that is probably the best product. And if you're already on Facebook, you already give all your data away. So just let them have a little more. May as well just scan your eye sockets in your brain constantly. It's fine.
Just let them into your bed. Just open up the covers. It's okay.
You're not important enough to chip.
Exactly. That's why it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me at all.
Why chip when you voluntarily use things like
Exactly. This is our life.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daddy Google and Facebook and Amazon and all the other ones. Microsoft.
All I'm saying is that the kidnappers missed their opportunity, because that was the easiest way to kidnap Jeff Bezos, was to just park a dump truck underneath where the pod was landing and drive away. They missed their opportunity.
Like,
On the quick little side note on that, does anyone know if that petition to keep Jeff Bezos in space actually ended up? No. How many signatures that actually had? I'm just curious. There was a joke.
I didn't realize
there was a joke petition to keep Mr. Bezos up in space.
Was this started by like Tulsi Gabbard or something? Anyway,
no, it was just.
You notice
it's the internet. That's why.
I can't remember which one it is, but I just saw a video of it, and it was on Facebook. I don't know if it was Virgins or if it was Bezos. It must have been Bezos. His spaceship. It just does not look nice.
Very phallic, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's fine.
And nobody commented on the
Mother
Facebook.
Nature.
We're going to fist our way into space.
It's hilarious.
Through, if you will.
I was at my parents' house. I just dropped Luke off there. Was getting ready to go to work. Saw that this launch was about ready to happen. And it's like, you know what? My boss is out this week. It's just me and a couple other guys in the office. Like,
hopefully he doesn't watch this podcast.
I was going to say, hopefully we're not popular. Oh, good. For now.
He doesn't.
This will be the first episode he watches.
Right.
He always starts in episode 52.
He'll I was only 7 minutes late. That's our rule of thumb. Our rule of thumb is if you're going to be more than 11, you have to text. More than 11 minutes late, you have to text. But anyway, so I was sitting there, and it's like, yeah, I'll watch it. And then they pan to the spaceship sitting there, solid as can be.
It's like a Flesh Gordon movie or something.
Oh yeah. And it's like, wow, that's like you look at SpaceX and their designs are just beautiful.
Virgin Galactic was
and
very
Virgin
pretty.
Galactic, it's like, wow, that's a pretty ship. I would want to fly in that. And then here's Bezos.
I gotta see this.
It's
just
pretty
sitting
funny.
up there, and
It's really
it's just
not
like,
that
wow.
bad. Okay,
It's not
and
that.
Bezos going to space is cool and all, but really, what's interesting is the youngest person in space and the oldest person in space. The current records are from that flight.
Did you know that the youngest person was Matt Damon's son? I think.
Mm-hmm.
He paid $28 million to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the oldest person is a American female astronaut who, her and 13 females were tested for the space program, and they were told,
yeah,
that one's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wally. Yeah.
That, by the way, that is an amazing movie. I wish I could
She is an amazing person.
Of
She's like, I'm sorry, you don't have an engineering degree. Okay, I'll be right back. And then went and got an engineering degree. And they're like, yeah, still no.
I think I speak for all of us on TWIL that we support women.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a hot take, but we support women here at TWIL. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Feminist.
Yeah.
Card carrying.
We like them.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Anyway, Colton, why don't you tell us about blind people, but not being blind through sights?
I am running through my damn memory banks. I am trying to remember if Charlie's already done this topic. Viruses? Does your topic involve viruses?
I don't think so.
Okay, it's different then. It's different.
Woo!
That was supposed to be a big thing, but that's pretty big. So I will see. Okay. So now I can go through my script. Thank God. So I have a question for you guys.
No.
Which one of the 5 main senses would you not want to lose? If you had a choice of all the 5, there's 17 or 18 actual senses is what they're saying, but the 5 big ones: sight, smell, hearing, feel, all that shit. Taste. Which one would you be okay with losing?
I would love to lose smell, and that's just because I'm a paramedic and bodily functions are a thing.
That makes sense.
That would make you lose taste as well, though.
It would definitely.
It wouldn't make you
definite.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take it away. I like really super spicy stuff, so I still have that flavor.
Yep.
I would definitely not want to lose sight.
Agreed.
I think I would.
I'm the same.
I don't want to lose sight, but honestly, I think touch would be the worst one to lose.
Interesting. I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, touch would definitely be my number 2. Sight, touch, and then hearing, and then taste and smell.
Tim, what about you?
Well, you those who say touch, I think you kind of forget that sexual pleasure involves touch. So you might lose that capability too. I would think, much as I enjoy food, maybe it's a good idea not to have taste or smell. But I think that would affect your taste too. So you're sort of losing a little bit of.
Does it, out of curiosity, for the medical people, does it go the other way? If you lose your sense of taste, do you lose your sense of smell too?
No.
Does it definite?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's only the one way. I never thought about that question.
If you lose smell, you lose about 50% of your taste. But if you lose taste, you don't lose any smell.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess if you have another way to have less of an appetite, I guess. I mean,
makes sense.
If you lose that.
I mean, if you're just getting those nutritional
the
pellets,
you're talking about.
Maybe you're getting a lot more touch then.
Okay.
Trying to get that high.
I don't know the relation to that, but
because you'll be skinny and fit because you don't want to eat because it doesn't because bacon no longer is the temptress.
Oh, I could go down the dirty hole here. I got to stop.
That's after hours shit. We're still trying to get the OnlyFans up. Anyways.
Yeah.
So it seems that actually most people in the world, if you're going off of a poll, most people will actually say they don't want to lose their sight because kind of makes sense. I mean, our modern world is actually built with sight in mind. Granted, we're making huge jumps for disabled people who can't hear, who can't. Well, I guess taste isn't really the biggest thing in the world to not have, but we're for general purposes, sight would be probably the most inconvenient. So because of things like that, scientists have been trying to give sight to the blind for actually a long time. And recently, a research team in France were able to do that. And the big thing was they did it with a virus, which is not the same as Charlie, so can keep going.
Yeah, it's not.
So this research team found a volunteer who suffered from a severe case of, and I'm going to blow this freaking term, but it's retinitis pigmentosa. Does anyone know what that is?
Yeah.
It's a genetic disease that causes degeneration of the retina.
Yeah.
Which they're... Uh-oh.
There's quite a few people with that.
Yeah. And obviously you need your retina to see, so if that degenerates, you have a problem seeing. So in an attempt to restore this guy's vision, the research team engineered a virus with photosensitive proteins and injected it into one of his eyes. Now, the cool thing here is that this virus actually converts the degenerated cells of the retina, and specifically the nerves, into light-sensitive nerve cells. You keep... have you done this topic, Charlie?
This is exactly my topic.
Damn it. Was yours
okay.
algae or... No, we're going to keep going.
No.
We're keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
So, these cells were not specialized cells that a healthy retina would actually normally have, but they can still sense light. But the problem is these created cells are not sensitive to most wavelengths of light. In this case, they're really only sensitive to a yellowish color, kind of an amberish color. So good. I have my own backup of testing all my research. This is good. So, hang on. Let me put up something real quick of the guy. Is this even the same picture? Is that the same picture? That's the same picture, isn't it?
I do vaguely remember that picture.
I did not share that picture, no.
Okay, so it's something new.
Yep.
So, as you can see, he's actually wearing something that looks like a VR headset, which is kind of makes sense for what we sort of talked about. That's actually the most important part of all of this.
Computer supports Virtual Link.
I sure hope so. What those goggles do is they actually turn all visible light into a monochromatic yellow, which is important because, again, the cells that are created are only sensitive to yellow specifically. Took almost a year to train the volunteer to see. Many hours a day of trial. I think it was like 7 months of hard testing to get this to work. Hang on a sec. And after a year, the man had a 92% success rate in object recognition and a 60% success rate in distinguishing multiple objects compared to, well, not having the device on at all. So basically, this research team gave this man's basic sight back. He doesn't see in as we see, but he could still take in information. Yeah, he theoretically could do that. So it's pretty damn cool, actually. And again, they tested the brain activity, and they proved that the activity in the brain that's actually being activated does specifically involve vision. So it's pretty much been proven that it works.
Does this virus eventually get consumed by the immune system, or do you have to keep on?
Well, no, the virus itself actually manipulates the cells permanently.
Oh.
At least that's what they say.
There's no immune system inside your eye. If your immune system was to get into your eye, it would actually destroy the inside of your eye.
Yeah. So
interesting.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I remember you talking about this, Charlie, because I'm thinking we're going to do the Joe to the Forge stuff here.
Yep.
Because I vaguely remember, I think you made that joke too. So
I did.
The Star Trek shit, pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, just a little rehash. Charlie, you have anything to add?
No. The biggest drawback that I had from my part was that it's slow. And COVID really slowed down the research, and that it is. It doesn't give you back independence. It's a good step forward, but it's not going to make you able to drive, take care of yourself any more than it would already.
Yeah, it's the version like.
But it's one of those. Yeah, it's alpha's
0.01.
Like first iteration. It's the fact that 2 decades ago this would have been science fiction, like not even possible.
Oh, absolutely.
Is what they. So that's what I got out of it, and apparently I loved it so much that I had to talk about it again. So cool.
All good.
It's all right. Let's see. Sorry, one note went down.
Charlie, water everywhere.
There you go.
Well, everywhere we don't want it, and nowhere where we want it. So, as you guys are probably aware, Germany and parts of France were just hit with gigantic flooding, and the American Southwest is being absolutely crushed by a drought. So, you guys may know that we've just entered a La Nina pattern, which is this pattern over my over what looks like my right shoulder, I think. And so the American Southwest and South are drier than normal as compared to a El Nino where it is wetter. But what is not mentioned, even in La Nina and El Nino patterns, the American Southwest is in a 20-year drought. Which is hilarious because it's probably not a 20-year drought. It's probably like normal. And when we founded places like Los Angeles and Las Vegas, we were in a unusual wet period. So this is probably baseline, and we're just idiots. That's the baseline. That's the expectation that I have. But currently, Lake Powell is experiencing a really big critical shortage in water. It is currently just barely above 3,525 feet deep, which is very important number because at that point or lower, Lake Powell no longer generates electricity, which will destabilize the western United States power grid, which is a very big problem. But the current fix for it is the 2019 contingency plan, which involves lowering the water level in the Colorado River Basin and 3 specific reservoirs in the Colorado River Basin. Flaming Gorge in Wyoming, or near Wyoming, the Navajo Reservoir near New Mexico, and Blue Mesa in Gunnison County. So as you guys know, the 4 of us are from or have lived a significant part of our life in Gunnison or Gunnison County. And Blue Mesa Reservoir is a gigantic body of water in Colorado. And in order to modify Lake Powell, they're going to drop 4 more feet of Blue Mesa, vertical feet, which is a gigantic...
Wait.
That's the current action plan.
Last I heard it was 8 inches was all we were going to drop.
It is,
4
it
feet?
is currently activated the 2019 contingency plan, which is going to be an additional 4 feet. Because Lake Powell is short 2.5 million acre feet of water in the last year. So
it's basically a river.
Yes.
So just for reference, Blue Mesa has like 90-something miles of shoreline.
Yes.
Yep.
It is the most significant body of water in Colorado. Grand Lake is bigger in surface area, but not deeper. So Blue Mesa is the largest body of water in Colorado by that measure. But Powell needs 2.5 million acre feet of water. An acre foot is enough water to cover an acre a foot deep. That is 326,000 gallons. 2.5 million acre feet is 815 billion gallons of water. Billion with a B. That's a lot of fucking water. Okay?
Holy shit.
So,
shitload of water.
We are in the midst of the most significant drought in the American Southwest. If we were to fail in releasing that amount of water, we would actually be in violation of a compact with 7 states. So it's Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, California are the core group, but Mexico also gets their water from this. So as you guys probably know, the Colorado River does not meet the Pacific Ocean anymore. It gets used up. a very significant portion of the water from the western slope is actually piped to the eastern slope for Denver. By the law, if we do not meet the demands going west, we have to cut usage in the state. So that means Denver gets its water restricted, the western slope gets its water restricted. Otherwise, we're having to pay for the water that the downstream users are using. And that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think they're talking about, since at least in the Blue Mesa area, all that water is like top of the river. So they're starting to talk about paying farmers to temporarily give up their water rights.
Yep.
Wow.
Which is it's a big deal. Whoa. Like it made the news down here in Tucson.
Yeah.
So it's
if Colorado decided to say, fuck you guys, basically every city in Arizona and Nevada would be out of water immediately. So that's not an insignificant problem. The power generation, yeah, that's a problem, but we can make that up in other ways as long as we've got enough lead time. Well, we're in the middle of a 20-year drought, and it's not getting better. We just started the La Nina pattern this year. That's normally a 2.5-year cycle before it flips back to El Nino. And while it is typically wetter in El Nino, it's still bone dry in the American Southwest. So we're getting unusual rainfall in fire zones right now. So we're getting flash flood warnings and in the burn scar areas that are burning, but it's not raining where things are currently on fire. And it is flooding out places like Germany and Belgium and France and killing hundreds, if not thousands of people. Oh, yeah.
China had a big one.
So if
200 millimeters in 24 hours or something stupid like that?
That made the news here.
Amount of waterfall in 2 days.
Just
in Yunnan province.
It
is
huge.
a crazy amount. So don't worry, global climate change is not real. It's fine. We're burn your fossil fuels. We're good.
It's one of those things, and at least the way I look at the whole situation, it's not obviously right. This particular problem is not society ending. It's not even really going to be a big deal to humans right now, but it's just another, and the term I keep reading about is just another crumble. It's just another little problem that it's just the scientists are saying it's just the beginning. Possible water, like wars over water.
Yep.
Who knows? I mean, this plan
is
the emergency. Yeah, this is the emergency plan. The fact that they call it the emergency plan, from what I understand, or they use the word
contingency.
Contingency, yeah. So this is the backup for this particular problem. If this doesn't work, I mean, they can obviously get the water down there, but then there's no backup. Right. If we don't get a huge
once
the water is gone,
low,
it takes years to fill Blue Mesa back up. It takes years to fill up all these other bodies of water. If we don't, we're essentially betting that it's going to rain, that this drought is going to end. We're hoping it does, because there's nothing else we can do, at least with what the current policies right now.
So my personal prediction is that Canada is going to have an influx of immigration, and people are going to move into the higher latitudes. And what was barren mosquito lands before is going to be the breadbasket of the world. And Canada is the future of North America, not the United States.
I see a lot of. We have an international pact on the Great Lakes. I can see the U.S. Breaking that and then pumping water from the Great Lakes down south.
And when you're dealing with people,
that's what I get.
When you're dealing with people possibly.
But my concern is critical mass. I mean, look at all the forest fires have gotten worse everywhere.
Yep.
Look what happened in the Northwest.
And we might hit a point where we can no longer. It's not just our carbon emissions, but it's all this burning. And is this going to be reversible?
So, from Denver, I have not seen the mountains in over a month.
The saddest,
yeah.
Just not to add fuel to the fire, which is a bad pun, and I apologize. The saddest news, because I read about that, and then a day later I read about, and it's on Facebook, so I'm pretty sure this is true. Scientists are saying that in the Amazon rainforest, it is now emitting more carbon than it is sequestering.
Correct.
And that's one of those things of like, that's like one of our big safety nets is the Amazon rainforest for this particular problem. At least that's what scientists say.
And the boreal forests, which are burning.
Yeah, stuff like that. Exactly. Yeah. You see high temperatures every year of my freaking life, and obviously your guys' as well. You're just
youngin.
Yeah.
So
I remember what it was like in the 90s.
So to close up my topic, I just want to tell you guys that I'm actually really proud. Not to brag, but I actually beat the local chess champion in 5 moves. Those high school karate moves finally paid off.
We can laugh because the world's ending. It's hilarious.
All right, Colton.
I would love to go
excuse
again.
me, Tim.
Do you want me to do a topic a third time?
Sorry, Tim. I went the wrong direction.
Okay, my topic. Well, it's kind of a little bit over there, but it was inspired by my first appearance on this podcast.
Classic episode 12.
When my audio recorder was almost, which people may or may not know, was a lot longer than it ended up being posted because my audio ended. Unfamiliar with the equipment that I was using. It was a combination of the battery getting low and the memory card filling up. So my audio ended shortly. So I've done YouTube, and I know one of the most important things is audio in YouTube, and I struggle with that from time to time with different cameras I had. I do have some wireless mics and so on, but unless you're really a planned vlogger, you're not just walking through a market, that can become problematic as well, because you got to turn on your receiver, you got to turn on 2 microphones, you got to make sure they're charged, you got to make sure the audio levels. It kind of interrupts with the spontaneity. You know that word.
Spontaneity.
Yeah.
Thank you. Of recording, just a casual vlog.
Or there's cows in the road. Let me get this.
Yeah. But luckily enough, the newest GoPro and the newest DJI Pocket, they have pretty decent audio that you can tweak in post. But I've always been interested in podcasting, but I just never had anything to say to start one. So I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you letting me ramble in this one.
No problem. Not a single one of us has enough to say for dedicated podcast. We're full of a lot of hot air, but
rambling is probably the best part of our podcast.
So I've been learning about dynamic and condenser mics, and I know condenser mics have a lot going for them, but how many of us can put noise dampening on the walls, and that becomes a big factor. I've got my air conditioning
that's my
running.
next project in here.
Yeah, I got my air conditioning running, but I'm not worrying about it too much because I'm using a dynamic mic, which I've since found are very, very directional with the recording pattern out of them. The other thing I've been learning about is different ways of recording. I mean, I've bought an interface similar to the one Cody uses, a Behringer. I'm recording into onto my computer. But of course, because of my bad experience, maybe in the future I won't do it. I'm also recording onto my Zoom recorder at the same time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I love my Tascam, by the way. I absolutely trust it. It just I have gig and gig cards.
Okay. Yeah, I think the biggest one that can take is 32 gig card. But I've ordered a power supply so I can use it. But that would be a great thing if you ever do a remote type of thing,
maybe
of
from
podcast recording
in the future.
So I use a Tascam when I'm doing my ghost investigations. So that's what I'll use to record my EVP sessions.
Okay. So another thing I've been looking at is, of course, is the different mixer interfaces. And I'm actually surprised that they're so affordable. they're basically, as I found out, they're basically a sound card in a box. But still, I mean, they're so affordable. Mixer interface, or using a separate recorder like my Zoom H4n here.
You and your H's.
Course, yeah, H, yeah,
H.
and Z, yeah.
Zeb top.
And then there's editing audio to remove noise. And just, Cody, if I don't do it, I probably will try to do it. I've noticed another problem is that whenever I pick up my phone and put it down on my desk, it gives me a nice audio spike on my recorder, because the vibration is going to the desk right up to the mic. So I'm going to have to put some foam underneath that.
God damn,
well,
Tim. Just
to eliminate
make us look
that.
Bad, won't you?
Yeah.
He edits his own audio before he sends it out. Look at that. Jesus. Now we gotta up our game, boys.
No.
And there's so many options. I don't know quite how. I understand how you're bringing the audio tracks in after, but I don't know Discord well enough yet. Since I just redid my Windows laptop, I've just been starting to play with Discord a little bit. So I know Cody's doing that, recording this video. I don't know what he's using to record our video on Discord, but that's another.
Well, what I'm doing is actually I've got the Discord video window basically popped out to full screen, and then I use OBS to record the video window.
It brings me into it.
And then and the problem with that is it mirror images my video, whoever's recording, because you're basically doing a screen capture. What I would kind of like to investigate moving towards is some sort of other program where it does not do that, because to me that's I hate watching those, because I'm like, this is all a lie whenever I see it, and it drives me crazy.
What you could do, that brings me into my next topic, next part of it, was so many different software programs that are available to podcasters doing a remote podcast. Of course, you can do Zoom. It will record your audio into separate audio tracks, but the audio bit rate is not very good. But it will record your video for you of your Zoom. So we could use that. Right now, Zencastr is, because of COVID, there's no time limit or guest limit. I'm not suggesting changing, but anybody else watching, they could look into it, because Zencastr is quite impressive.
We're okay with change.
Yeah, and then Streamlabs or OBS, which is what you're doing already.
Yeah, so I'm
I just find this whole process is very interesting.
Yeah, I'm using OBS Studio to do the actual recording, and then I basically, so everybody is, just for reference, everybody else but the person recording the video, and I could be too, is using Audacity to record the actual audio portion of the podcast.
I'm sorry, pronounce that word again?
Yeah.
Audacity?
Say that again?
Audacity?
Audacity.
You have the audacity to say it wrong?
Yes, I
You've
do.
been in Thailand
I
too
very
long.
much do.
Well, if it's actually Audacity and we're all saying it wrong.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be next week. We're learning. And then I just have the the earbud is falling out all the way.
As you can see, we're a
problem
professional
with Zoom
podcast
right now. Zoom is quite useful too, but the problem with Zoom,
45 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes, but the
audio quality isn't very good either.
We'd have to add. But if you wanted to just make it simple for the video quality, you do 40 minutes. The host just has to leave the room open, drop out, and come back in. Then you can start another 40 minutes. I'm just saying that's for Zoom, but Zencastr is good, especially because it's going to give you really good quality audio for sure, as good as as a person's microphone is and room is on the other side. But the problem is that once they stop this free, then somebody would have to subscribe, and then it gets, I don't know what the price is.
Well, and the audio recording portion of like Zoom, it's kind of a moot point, because it only matters for us to be able to hear each other. It's not actually part of the recording the audio because we don't want
how we
to.
do it.
Yeah, because we're each independently recording our own audio. So
Right.
if there's like somebody has choppy internet, like, yeah, it'll show up on the video, but it won't show up on the audio because the audio is being locally recorded from each person's perspective. And then we just merge that all together.
So I'm not saying change what you do here, but I'd be curious just if we do a test with Zencaster sometimes. I just want to feel how it works.
Well,
and maybe not in a podcast, maybe in a chat.
Month. It's $20 a month, even if we needed to eventually pay for it. But for hobbyists, they're allowing hosts up to 4 guests, unlimited audio recordings, trial 1080p video recordings. Apparently that's in beta. And
so it's normally what, 720? Huh. I mean,
if you click
the only reason we
classic,
even use...
if you click on classic in Zencaster, it opens another window and you'll see that it says unlimited guests.
I mean, it's the only reason.
Do you see that?
We only use Discord just because it's the one we're kind of familiar with, but it's definitely not what other professional podcasters use. I mean, eventually we want to get to the point where we can record our own video, so it's even more. It's the overall quality will actually go up. We're getting there. Maybe the next 150 episodes.
There's another one called Descript as well, but that's quite a bit of money. But it's quite an impressive piece of software.
I'm going to add a section for you. You should put all your research in the TWIL Media Group OneNote here. And there's something we'll definitely look into that. Not that you're asking us to change, of course.
I enjoy that process. And I really enjoy that you guys letting me participate here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you're already bringing the quality up, so...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, if you were to hypothetically, I don't know, drop this podcast in your 1,000-subscriber YouTube channel, I'm sure we'd only quintuple our viewership. Only.
That was subtle.
Not that's why we invited you.
No, certainly not.
We're not using you for your subscribers.
But if it would have happened...
This week,
this
week I got to finally put a new video up.
Yes, you do, Tim. The world's sort of opening up.
And then I'll try to put something in at the end.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Shameless plugging. That is the key to the podcasting world and YouTube world.
Yeah.
It's the only way to grow at this point.
It's not quite the same audience though, but I'll put something in.
You know what? If we get 10 people from your audience, I'll call that a damn win at this point.
It will triple.
That will quadruple our freaking.
Yeah.
We're doing fine on the audio side.
Yeah.
But we could always.
I'll have to put a title in because the audio is already done on the video. So unless I do a voiceover, I'll put a title in. See Cody at blah blah blah.
You do whatever you want to do, Tim. Anything, we will love you forever, and we already do.
Okay, so that was my first topic here. So I guess now we're on to Brandon. It's dangerous to go alone.
What the hell are you talking about, Brandon?
Take that random package at the airport.
It's a gaming reference to Zelda, which this console, unless you use ROMs, isn't gonna play that. But Steam is known best for their game store, but they've also released some pretty stellar hardware along the way too. Joining this hardware is the new Stream Deck. It's a device reminiscent of the Nintendo Switch, but it runs a custom flavor of Linux.
Wait, is it Steam Deck or Stream Deck?
Steam.
I think it's Steam Deck. Hold on.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
This is actually a. Sorry to break into this already.
Deck.
This is actually a problem already. People are because the Elgato Stream Deck actually exists.
Yeah.
Which is a whole funny
Steam
thing.
Deck.
So sorry.
Steam Deck.
It is a Steam Deck. I think they're using the term deck from like cyberpunky, you have the hacking deck.
Oh.
No, that's Pokédex, but Yeah. So it's basically a Switch-sized Nintendo Switch-sized device with some extra buttons and input that runs Linux and is going to be able to.
Of course, it can run Linux. Wait. My toaster can run Linux.
No, I mean
exactly. Keep going.
No,
Cody should be able to.
Cody said to wait. Cody said to wait.
Where did Cody just go?
Is that going to be in any way related to this thing?
The Steam Link. Well, hopefully it won't fail like the Steam Link did.
Oh, shots fired.
Come on, Gabe, get your shit together.
My Steam Link that I bought when they were $2, which thank you, Cody, you actually bought it for me because you had
they wouldn't ship
all
to
of
Alaska.
The Steam stuff shipped to me, and then I shipped your stuff to Alaska. So my Steam Link has only been out of the box once so that I could physically look at it and be like, this is kind of cool, and then it went back in the box. I do still use the Steam controller.
Yeah, it's a nice controller.
Not often, but there are certain games that the touch input just is fantastic on.
You keep talking, I'll go get one.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Not sponsored by Steam yet.
No.
Yeah, no.
Please sponsor us. Send us all Steam decks. We would love you, and
we have no problem shilling. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. They can pay me to keep my clothes on.
Unless you want to pay me enough to get them off.
No.
Also, you need help if you did.
Everyone wants them to keep our clothes on.
You know what? It's a big word. There's 7 billion people. One person No. Who am I kidding? Go on, Brandon. There goes my smile.
Well, let's talk technical specs quick. So the current published technical specifications for the Steam Deck, it runs Steam OS 3.0, which is an Arch-based Linux distribution. It has a 7-inch diagonal display that's 1200 by 800 pixels, 400 nits of brightness. So I do kind of worry that outdoor use at only 400 nits is going to be not that great. 60 hertz refresh rate. I mean, screen that size probably isn't too bad. The processor is going to be an AMD APU Zen 2 with 4 cores and 8 threads. Took me a little bit too long. 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz. The graphics is going to have 8 RDNA 2 CUs that run at 1 to 1.6 gigahertz.
Where the fuck did Cody go?
He's looking for his Steam controller.
I
could pull mine out. Mine is right there.
He has one room. He has one goddamn room, and he can't find anything. One room, Cody.
and like
poof, it's gone.
Suitcases. Yeah,
how many suitcases?
It might actually be at Tim's. It might be at Tim's with my VR stuff, but anyway, sorry.
That's all right. It has 16 gigs of soldered-on RAM. It's going to come in 3 different storage flavors. So 64 gigs of eMMC, 256 gigs solid state, or 512 solid state.
And those are NVMe's
SSD.
Specifically.
NVMe SSD. Important thing to note. Memory is not going to be user upgradable. It is going to be soldered onto the board. So if you're going to buy one of these, buy it with whatever storage you think you want.
Let's come with an SD card reader, doesn't it?
I mean, if you're going to go NVMe, there's only like an $80 difference between the two. Go with the bigger one.
Plus, if you want to possibly put Windows on it in the future, with Windows 11 being 64 gigs, you can't do that on the small one. So, stop being cheap.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that this is going to replace your gaming computer.
Now,
and
really important.
It's not.
This is not even out until Q2 of 2022. Like,
also true.
They're taking pre-orders now.
Yeah, for $5, you can put your name in the list.
Yep. And they are going to release, the first shipments are going to be coming in December of them.
They're going to try.
Do you
very
really want
with
the
world.
first gen of a Steam mobile device?
I mean,
I don't know.
again,
come on, Mr. Early Adopter. What happens, Mr. Microsoft Surface Go?
And
that's a fair point. Actually,
you're thinking the Duo.
Duo, excuse me.
But
and
it is
now that it's down to 400.
Yeah, but you just proved your own point by saying the 2, not the Go 1. The Go 2.
I haven't actually taken the plastic film off this.
Ooh.
And you just ruined the value.
Oh,
this is after hours.
All
shit.
$2.
It went down to 90 cents now. Good luck.
That's some tech porn.
That's like 45,000 baht.
And 2 satangs.
Oh God, the satangs! Oh, the satangs! Why?
Another topic for Cody.
Is that like a penny?
That's a half. That's their equivalent of that's like a half penny equivalent, isn't it?
And another topic is why do people always? Another topic is why do people always call Cody Corey? I have a friend here who always calls him Corey, no matter how many times I told him his name is Cody, and now I almost call him Corey.
Really? His name's not Corey?
Apparently, no one in Thailand has ever heard of a Cody before.
He's one of a kind.
He's not.
They think it's just an abbreviation for coyote.
Maybe they're just waiting for Cody to give them the D.
Oh. Flag on the play. Okay,
hold
on.
What?
That's what's missing.
Why
Corey,
is it a bad
Cody,
idea to use an iron on a 4-leaf clover? Why is it a bad idea to use an iron on a 4-leaf clover? They tell you to never press your luck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
Are you a dad? Do you have any kids? Because that's a.
I've got 3. I've got 3, and I've got. She'll be
okay,
1 in 10 days. Then my youngest will be 1 soon and very soon.
Oh, wow.
I did not realize she was
July 31st. She'll be 1.
July
He's
29th.
the COVID baby.
Luke will be 12. Yep.
Okay. Pause. Imagine if you walk into a bar and there was a long line of people waiting to take a swing at you. That would be the punchline.
I think you're in it.
You need to go to that bar.
I'm gonna start working on a technology.
Did you know that air used to be free at a gas station? Now it's like $1.50. You know why? Inflation.
Brandon.
Oh, what did
start
I start?
talking. Just start talking.
Okay, so, get the Stream Deck with the amount of storage you wanted. It does have a micro SD card slot, but
not Stream Deck.
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck.
It does have an expandable micro SD card slot, but that is gonna be slower than the internal solid state drive. I use for the Steam drive on my Surface Go, I actually use a micro SD card, and for most games it's fine. It takes a little while to load. Once it's loaded, you're up and playing and it's good. But like I think Cody said, if you're going to put Windows on it, for the love of God, get one with an NVMe with the 256 because Colton, sorry.
I don't do it for praise, boys. I do it for the views.
You should.
You're a good Colton.
If you're going to put Windows on it or put any sort of other Linux distro or anything like that, you're going to want to get the 256 gig model.
Or spend $80 more and get the 512.
The funny part about all of that. If you're talking about,
I'm sorry.
I don't know about you guys.
$120. I was going the wrong direction.
Yeah,
it's $120.
So the funny part about that is, all of us have a bunch of Steam games. Like I have hundreds, and I think you guys do as well.
Oh yeah, easy.
So anything less than 512 is just
stupid.
Seems silly to me. That's just my personal opinion.
I have to look at my library now.
Unless like everybody has fiber, which only most of us do at this point, and can
just rub that into Brandon a little bit. Games. Jesus Christ, man! Jesus, no chill now.
Brandon, we got the
pour one out for Brandon
old
at this
style.
point. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But I only have 235 games, okay?
Yeah, and by the way, we should all add Tim to our friends list, and he needs more games on Steam. His Steam list is so sad. It's
so sad. What, does he only have like 150 games?
It's like
how many games do you have?
4, 5?
Oh.
What?
Jesus, Tim.
What do you do in your free time? You're retired.
Before I moved here, I used to play on the Xbox and stuff like that.
PC
Actually, okay.
And you know where Tim got rid of them all.
Oh my God.
I'm a firm member of the PC Master Race.
Yep.
Tim makes hot sauce.
What is that?
Ooh. Hold on. I have a 300 bottle hot sauce collection. I need.
Yeah, I don't have a collection, but I love hot sauce.
I
am such a pansy when it comes to hot sauce.
We heard about that.
Like ketchup is too spicy for me. That's the joke, and it's only half true.
How did you survive on your visit to Thailand?
No, I live in the Southwest in Tucson.
He liked
which is right next to Mexico. Sausage. I loved Isan sausage. It was incredible, but that color just looks like it hurts your tongue. Like just looking at it hurts me.
It gave Cody the hiccups.
You know, I spent a lot of time.
Super fucking hot.
I spent a lot of time childproofing my house, but they still get in.
Oh. Brandon, you're not talking enough.
I thought you were done.
No, I'm not, apparently. Anyway, back to Steam Deck. Bluetooth 5.0, dual band Wi-Fi, has a headphone jack.
That's not nothing.
Freaking goodness. 3.5 millimeter headphone
just means
headset
it's not waterproof
jack.
now.
Yeah.
What's its IPO
I can't bring
rate?
it in the ocean. I can't bring it in the pool.
Zero.
It's not life-proof then.
Takes a 45 watt USB Type-C power supply. Has a 40 watt hour battery.
That's cool. So you can run it like you could run it from a lot of different USB-C devices. That means you could actually run it from a power bank.
Yep.
And it's dockable, apparently.
And it is. So 40 watt hour battery. They estimate 2 to 8 hours of gameplay, depending on the game you're playing. And it weighs roughly 669 grams.
Nice.
The starting model, the 64 gig with eMMC, is $399. I would, unless you're getting this as like a tertiary or quadriary, like I just want it to play with it device, skip this, get the 256 gig model. It is $529, but that's a lot more worth it. You get, this is US dollars. You get the 256 gig, and it's the true NVMe, so it's going to be a lot faster to load. You're going to have a lot better performance. And 256, you're going to be able to load different operating systems on it, maybe even Windows. I keep coming back to Windows because that's probably how I will use this device, because I do plan on getting one. I am not signing up for the pre-release.
Okay.
I am waiting.
Coward.
Good.
I am absolutely a coward on this because single father, almost $600 on a handheld device. That's I want to know that it's going to work, that I'm going to use it.
So
that your son won't just steal it from you.
Yeah.
Since I was very anti-Switch, I've been flopping with the Switch. I think this is actually going to be something that I'm going to get if I can get it here.
Come on, you don't like just Kotaku games? Come on. Okay, what's the difference between a well-dressed man on a tricycle and a poorly dressed man on a bicycle?
How do you turn
So there
off?
will be a dock for it, so you can. There will be a dock for it, so you can use it like a desktop or a docked Nintendo Switch. And I already covered this, but yeah, you can install. It's confirmed you can install other OSs onto it, including Windows. Personally, I've been drooling over similar devices for the last year from the makers of the likes of GPD, Aya, and One. The idea of playing computer games, even if they are older or simpler ones, is is why I actually got the Surface Go 2 and then got that expandable Bluetooth tablet controller.
Now,
the only problem is that tablet controller fucking sucks. I need to find a better one.
Can you use this in offline mode?
Yes.
I would imagine so, because it's basically going to be Steam,
but
it's local storage.
And that's why
it's just going to depend on the game.
Well, yeah, but
because a lot of modern games are like you have to have internet connection, even though it's a single-player game.
And unless,
but
you
it's
can
not
have
going to be
all flights with free internet. That's stupid.
Yeah, but I know what you're referencing, Cody. You're talking about how I bought my Switch, and being the smart person that I am, I'm like, oh, hey, look, if we buy the digital version, my son has a Switch Lite, I have a Switch Lite, we can both play the digital version because we're all part of the same family, and they let you do that. That's fantastic. That's awesome. We can play the games at the same time that we buy. So I only bought one copy of Among Us. We can both play Among Us with that single copy. I bought one copy of Minecraft. We can both play that Minecraft. And it be different on each other's profiles and stuff like that. We can play it at the same time. It's fantastic. The minute you are not connected to internet, any game that you get from the Nintendo store stops working.
So road trips are screwed.
So stupid.
Unless you have a fancy car like my Volt that has a 4G LTE hotspot built into it.
Hope you don't drive through a tunnel.
You should do that. You should do. Maybe you should be sitting in your car.
Yeah.
Oh, shots fired.
Might have better internet.
Fired from Thailand.
Shit.
Well done.
So
I should probably upload my audio from my car because that'd be quicker than fucking Spectrum.
Oh, fuck, that's hilarious.
All right, we've got to have a theme episode that's like TWIL remote and just us somewhere else.
See, what's good about that is I just used my first responder discount to buy a laptop at cost. So I can do that. Haha.
Well, and
That'd be fun.
Colton, I have your laptop for you right here.
Thank you. Why is it not in my hand yet?
I just finally did the things that I wanted to do to it that I think you'll appreciate, and you'll find out what I did once you get it.
Super fucking excited. I also realized the gift that I did the gift, but the forwarded thing that I sent to you, I forgot a part of it. So I'm curious if it's even going to work with that of it.
How many apples grow on trees?
The box yet.
Not enough.
Too many.
All of them.
End this, Brandon.
Yep.
End me.
Well, I was going to talk more about Switch, but
ahead.
I think.
What about the
done.
computer? The Apple computers.
Did you hear the rumor about butter?
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to spread it.
How
about the one about the guy who invented lifesavers? I heard he made a mint.
You can't see. There's a wall right here. You can't see it.
I am about to kick
my
you.
head against it.
You're about to lose the audience you guys already have.
Yeah.
Or we're going to explode because of all the bad humor. One of the two.
No. Okay, so, yeah, from what I understand, unlike the Switch, you download whatever game you're going to play on this, and as long as that specific game doesn't require a callback to mommy to make sure that you're authenticated to use it, then you can play it like normal. So, like, the pod racing game that I bought for Switch. The pod racing game. Episode 1, Star Wars pod racing game. Like, from, Nintendo 64 era that they ported over to Switch. That won't let me play it when I'm driving in a car.
When you're driving in a car? Let's talk about that for a moment.
When I'm riding passenger in a car.
Thank you.
Sure.
Like, long trips to Denver, where I'm having to not drive for some reason.
Fair enough.
Because I hate being a passenger. I can't play that because I don't own the disc. And apparently the way Nintendo DRAM works is they're like, oh, let's make sure you didn't sideload this game. And it has to call back to the server, authenticate to your account, and then it goes, yes, you can play this. Once you start playing it, if you disconnect, it's fine. It's just if you close out of that software and go to open something else, or go to reopen that software, it has to call back to mommy. Switch, because it's going to be on your console natively downloaded, and it's basically the same version of the game you have on your PC. It should work as long as that doesn't require
on the
that
deck.
game natively doesn't require it. Yep. There is also going to be streaming on it. So you could stream from your home massive gaming rig to it and get better FPS than you would natively on it.
Ooh. It's actually awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
A la Streamlink. Yeah.
Steam Link,
I'm
not Streamlink.
Elgato's gonna sue us. Stop it. Also, we will be sponsored by Elgato too. If anyone wants to give us a sponsorship.
Yeah.
Mugatu.
I was gonna say, honestly, at this point, if we got sued by anyone big, that would probably be our break-in.
You know what? So now we're invited.
Go fund me.
In other news, did you guys hear that a cheese factory in France exploded?
Oh.
Debris was everywhere.
And with that, folks, Colton, where can we find you?
So you can... God damn it. I don't even know what to say. So, my name is Colton Roper. You can find me most places. Seeker4761.
That's how many times I'm going to smack my head against this wall on this episode because of
double
him.
that at this point. God damn it.
Yes.
Him.
Yeah.
I also stream pretty consistently at twitch.tv/Seeker4761. Try to stream at least 3 or 4 times a week, so check that out.
Cody.
I am Cody Stratman, also known as Zito Valder, also known as Psycho Nitrous because I have too many names. Also known as Corey for some strange reason.
Because you need to give people the D.
Sure. You can find me on YouTube as Striving to Fail. You can find me here every week. And yeah, for right now, that's where you can find me. Anyway, Charlie.
Do you guys want to hear about a joke about construction?
No.
All right, never mind. I'm still working on it.
Damn it.
I feel played. I feel so played.
That was all right.
You feel personally attacked.
That one was
that was okay.
No means no.
But no means no.
Okay. So my name is Charlie Stifler. You can find me on YouTube as Milnor, twitch.tv/Milnor. All the social medias, my username is Milnor. You can find me here every week. And Tim, please save us from me.
Our new replacement, Tim. Sorry, Charlie.
My name is Tim Rind, and I'm on YouTube as Our Thai Journey, and Facebook is Our Thai Journey, and that's it. Simple.
You need to make an Instagram.
I do have an Instagram, Our Thai Journey, but we don't update it very often.
You should update
I don't even know how Snapchat works.
Neither do I, but
you gotta do the Insta and the TikTok and everything.
Oh no.
Got time. Brandon.
Okay.
All right.
Back to Brandon.
I'm Brandon Vader, also known as Dracanis. You can find me on Instagram as bvader86, on TikTok, bvader86. I don't have many videos there, but I did just post a new one, interesting one tonight.
Okay. That's cool.
I'm not...
Sorry.
Fuck you. I am not streaming because my internet fucking sucks. I only have 8 megs up, and that's not good enough.
Officially the worst in the group.
Not good enough. Officially the worst in the group.
How much do you pay?
You can make a really unique stream, really unique channel by streaming from your car. You can make give yourself a new name.
That would be a really cool YouTube video for the techpirate.net.
Yeah.
Also,
maybe if I had a Tesla and could then just video myself playing the games on the Tesla with the steering wheel, but
Yeah.
no, I have a Chevy Volt. It's better in some ways. But yeah. Yes, I could afford it. That's the best.
That's probably the best thing.
Reason to have it.
What kind of music do the Pilgrims listen to?
Doesn't matter.
Plymouth Rock.
None.
Yeah. God help me find the outro. I need the outro. Thanks for joining us on this episode of This Week I'm Learning. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as on YouTube at This Week I'm Learning. For you social media peeps out there, you can find us on Twitter at THIS2WIL. If you'd like to contact us, you can send us an email to twil@thetechpire.net. We'll see you next week. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Run away before he says another one.
Oh, please. Oh.
All right, I gotta check something just to see if, these are falling out because I'm an idiot.
Okay, Cody.
We'll include that in the podcast.
Please tell me you have it on left and right wrong.
No, it's
not.
not.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh.
Okay, I think I just gotta figure out how this is supposed to work, or...
Rotate them. You twist them in.
Twist. Rotate.
Yeah. You
so
should have so right above your tragus, which is the little notch right here, you should have a little crevice. You twist those into the crevice.
Yeah, you don't just put them in. You twist them. You put them in and then you twist. Out.
Hey, what do you call a slipper made out of a banana?
No, you twist them down?
What do you call it?
Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine.
You're going to save that for next week now?
I'm going to save it now.
I figured.
Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use a honeycomb.
Does it feel better that way, Cody? Except for that insulting dad jokes hurled your way.
Why'd everything go away?
Oh, you can't hear anything. That's good. Bye.
Just tap them.
Bye-bye.
Bye.